Hello, everybody. Welcome back aboard, then, folks, to Reels of Football. Today, it is the return of Premier League predictions, and I know that earlier in the season that I promised you that I would keep it consistent. I didn't. However, bit of consistency here for you. Game week 2 was the last time I did predictions. This game week is game week 12, and we're bringing you Premier League predictions. So, folks, the headline game of the weekend is Arsenal against Spurs. Let's get into your Premier League predictions for game week 12. Here we go. And we're going to start with Burnley against Chelsea. I think it's a pretty obvious one, really. I mean, look, Chelsea, good in some ways. Their league table position shows that they are doing okay. In other senses, though, they're dodgy. And Chelsea can be really dodgy at times. I mean, I'm using that word a lot, but it's fact. I think today is one of those days where they may look dodgy and Burnley will have a go, but I do think that they'll beat Burnley. I'm going to go for a nice simple one. I am going to go for a 3-1 win over Burnley for Chelsea. And my reasoning for that is because bear with me. Do apologise that may appear as a brief stop, but we did have to fix that minor issue. But yeah, moving on anyway. The reason why I predicted Burnley 1, Chelsea 3, I think Burnley will score. Based on what I saw at Turf Moor with Arsenal, I think it'll be a similar 2-goal margin. I think Burnley will play okay. It'll be kind of tight. I think 3-1. Burnley score, but Chelsea win comfortably. 3-1 to Chelsea is my prediction for that one. We'll move on swiftly because next up is the 3 o'clock kickoffs. And we've got Bournemouth against West Ham. West Ham started to hit form at home. 2, I believe, 3-1 wins. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Bournemouth losing 4-0 most recently. So most certainly some interest among 3-2, sorry, against Burnley. There you go. But I still think that West Ham are shit. I still think they'll go down. A little bit of a moment before the international break, but I think back down to earth. And I think that Bournemouth will get back to form immediately and will want to after a 4-0 defeat to Villa unexpectedly. So for me, I am going to sneak Bournemouth for this one. I'm not going to say that West Ham will get pammed because that'd be unrealistic based on both teams' forms, but I think Bournemouth come through comfortably. 2-1 to Bournemouth. And we'll move on. Brighton against Brentford. Yeah, Brighton are always one of those sides where, well, they're Luke's team, aren't they? They're a bit of a niggle for me. A bit of a pain in my backside, you know what I mean? A bit of a pinch in the bum. Because every time I predict against them or in favour of them, they cock up. Except for against Manchester City. I would back Brentford to win this, but you don't know what Brighton are going to do. I mean, Brentford would be okay to win this game. But again, like I've just said, Brighton tend to prove me wrong. So I'm going to try and avoid being proven wrong. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Brighton over Brentford. I'm going to go 2-1. Another home 2-1 victory. There's quite a few of these in here, I won't lie. But 2-1 sounds like fair to me. 2-1 Brighton. Fulham against Sunderland. Fulham, where are you? Hiding from me. There you are. Yeah, bit of a dodgy form, really, at the minute for Fulham. I mean, obviously, we want to look at more or less results previous, yeah. So, not great. Defeats to Bournemouth, defeats to Arsenal, defeats to Newcastle, beating Wolves as you'd expect them to, but then that 2-0 defeats Everton. They're not looking too great at the minute. Sunderland are unbeaten since the defeat at Old Trafford, 2-0. With 2-0 wins against a 2-0 win against Chelsea, an away win, an extraordinary one away to Chelsea, and then 1-1 against Everton, and that was a bit disappointing. And then obviously the Arsenal result as well. And for me, Sunderland have proven they can go away anywhere and win. They've proven that they can win games. They've proven that they are here to stay. And I see no reason as to why they can't beat Fulham. I mean, I'm not saying they should beat Fulham, but there's no reason why they can't. So it's a case of, do Fulham get back to form? Do Fulham turn up? Or do Sunderland take all 3 points? Well, I'm a form-based guy. I'm a facts-based guy. But I'm also a gut-based guy. And I'm going to go 2-1 to Sunderland. Seems realistic to me. Fulham not in form. And Sunderland definitely can do it. So 2-1 to Sunderland. Liverpool against Forest, the fixture last season, which surprised us all and really set the tone for the season on the Nottingham Forest basis of things. But since things have happened with Nuno being sacked, poor start to the season, obviously it was a 1-0 victory at Anfield last time for them. And it's not. Liverpool are worse off than they were last season, but I just don't have the persuasion to back Forest to win it. And I never really did last season either, and I didn't. So it's going to have to be a case of Forest surprising me with this one, I think, because for me, Liverpool do win this one. I'm not saying they walk it, but are Forest strong enough right now? Has Sean Dyche got Forest to the point where they can do that at Anfield? Because Nuno is a very, very good manager, wrongfully sacked by Marinakis, in my view. But with Sean Dyche, I mean, he can do it. Any manager can do it. But has he got his Nottingham Forest team to the level that he needs to get a repeat result of last season at Anfield and get a second consecutive victory at Anfield, which would be the first time in Nottingham Forest history? I don't think so. So like I said, it's going to have to be a surprise package for me, really, with Forest. But my prediction is 2-1 to Liverpool. Moving on, Wolves Palace. Wolves Palace. Is it? Yeah, I mean, well, they've definitely improved, Wolves. I mean, there's no line about that. There's more spirit about them, and there's more when they play. Do you know what I mean? But for me, Crystal Palace, I mean, obviously the downfall started at the Hill Dickinson game where they lost 2-1, but they've started the season so strongly, and you have to credit them for that. And for me, I don't see any reason why Crystal Palace can't go and win at Wolves. And in my opinion, Crystal Palace should, if they are to meet their goals and expectations for the season, which would be European football, a top half finish. I think that the minimum as Crystal Palace, if you have those goals, is to go and get a clean sheet and a win at Molineux, in my opinion. Wolves 1-1 against Brighton. Brighton were dodgy that day. Sunderland 2-0 defeat away expected. 3-2 at home to Burnley. Yeah, Burnley set the tone from that immediately. Wolves did well to get back into it, but Burnley showing real professionalism to get that win. Yeah, sat down by Fulham. And, I mean, previously they've had good results against Shells, but nah, not this time. 3-0 away. Wolves aren't doing too bad, but it's not very good, is it? I'm not really going to talk too much about Rob Edwards at the minute because I'm not very keen on it, more from the Middlesbrough point of view. But it's also going to be a taster for Rob Edwards. And reports have said, Wolves might be preparing for potential relegation here. Potentially. I'm not going to deny that. So can Rob Edwards get a home win against Palace? My opinion is no. The prediction for this one is Wolves 0, Crystal Palace 2. The game that I will not be here for due to a Christmas light switch on, for those of you who've already seen the Your Weekend of Reels and Football post. Newcastle against Manchester City is kicking up at 5:30 tomorrow. It's a big game. But Newcastle, not great. And we're not going to use the form guide for this. We're going to show you the league table because they are well behind Sunderland. They are in 14th and their form guide is completely off. They're on a -3 goal difference. It's not a great Newcastle team. I mean, they lost late on to Newcastle, Liverpool. Don't get me wrong, a lot of spirit. Lost late on to Arsenal. They're just not getting things right. And losing 3-1 away in London on the bounce, Brentford and West Ham. Yeah, West Ham, oh dear. It's not really giving me signs of a strong Newcastle side who can take it to Manchester City. Now, my feeling is a 1-1 draw. But if I'm a punter, I think Manchester City win this game. Against the Newcastle side, they'll want to follow in the footsteps of Liverpool and Arsenal, who have both gotten wins here. For me, are Newcastle strong enough to hold off Manchester City? No. Things are starting to rock for Eddie Howe. There is a bit of concern going around Newcastle. Sunderland are well above them, which is a surprise, obviously, because they're a newly promoted side, but it rings alarm bells. And I would love to say that Newcastle could beat Manchester City, and they might. But do I really think they are right now, based on what I've seen? 12 game weeks in? No. So the prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Manchester City away to Newcastle at St James's Park. Leeds United taking on Joshua Ring's Aston Villa. Villa surprised us all with that 4-0 victory over Bournemouth. I mean, I have to say, I was predicting a 2-2 draw, thinking that Bournemouth were going to win, but hoping for a draw. I got it completely wrong. I think a lot of people got it completely wrong. 4-0 slapped Bournemouth, who, by the way, have had their best ever start to a Premier League season this season. Some win when you consider how bad they were at the start of the season. But there are, every team that's been good or bad, bad that's now gotten good, still has niggles. Manchester City, after a rocky start, losing to Spurs, losing to Brighton, they came good, went to Villa Park, lost. Villa have hit good form, lost the game though, in bad ways. And you just feel like, well, Leeds aren't doing too great. But I think that the way Aston Villa are, it kind of would suit a newly promoted side, such as Leeds United, to take full advantage and get a win potentially. So it's going to be a surprise. And it's a 50-50 one that I'm mostly not too confident over. But I think that Villa might just be a bit lackadaisical after the international break and might be there for the taking. So if Leeds are up for it and want to beat Villa, I think they might just. I'm going to go for a low scoring, Leeds United 1, Aston Villa 0. Moving on to the big one of the weekend, it is Arsenal against Tottenham Hotspur. It is the North London derby. Gabriel is not available. We need a win after the 2-2 draw against Sunderland. It's fair to say that. We need to get a win. And we should beat Tottenham at home. Now, I'm not going to get all into the whole we hate Tottenham, but we do fucking hate Tottenham, and we know it, and we should be beating them at home no matter what. But it is Derby Day. And quite frankly, Gabby or not, I expect the 3 points. Now, a couple of preview notes. I am surprised that Bukayo Saka stayed fit during the international break, but he's looking good. That is a bonus for us. There's bonuses. The downside is obviously Gabriel getting injured at the Emirates Stadium with Brazil in a game against I think, Tunisia. Now, he's sidelined for weeks. I'm going to take that off the chin. Pinch of salt. Because it could come back at any time. So, pinch of salt that. But, obviously, it deeply concerns me and wretches me a bit that he's gone. So, yeah. But no, on a serious note, Gabriel or not, no matter how many injuries, it's Tottenham at home. So I'm going to go 2-0 Arsenal. I think we need to get back to getting clean sheets. I think we need a nice, comfortable win. Some people are going a bit over the top with 5-0, 6-0, 4-0, 3-0. I'd love to beat Tottenham 5-0. And you all know I would. Put a right smile on my face. But be realistic. Gabby's not there. We ain't necessarily known for scoring a lot of goals in games this season because we're more defensive. We're going to be a bit cautious without our big centre-back, the best centre-back in the world. So I think 2-0 is a reasonable prediction. 2-0 to the Arsenal. I always knew we were going to... I know we're going to win. Arsenal 2, Spurs 0. Simple as can be. And to finish off, it is Monday Night Football. Manchester United against Everton. Everton, decent, bit iffy at times. I don't see them getting points at Old Trafford. Just my view. Manchester United most certainly have started to pick things up, really get on the pace. Took Brighton apart, getting some good results recently. I don't see any reason why they can't beat Everton. I mean, Everton are a good team under David Moyes. They're doing well. But can Manchester United take them apart? For me, the answer is yes. Manchester United 3, Everton 1. And folks, that wraps it up. Smash a like, hit that subscribe button, and comment your thoughts.